Hello everyone. Here we are going to see about the I pattern, its structure, and then equalizing filter and its techniques in this slides. So here we are going to see I pattern analysis first one. So the I pattern is used to study the ISI effect in the baseband digital transmitter. So the name I is given because it looks like an I. So the I pattern is obtained by CRO when the binary sequence is transmitted over the baseband transmission. Due to the nature of transmission channel, the signal will becomes continuously increasing and decreasing amplitudes at the receiver side. So this type of analysis is known as the I pattern analysis. So here is the transmitted binary sequence. So when we are passing the input signal as a 0 or 1, so that will be received in the y of t as the output signal. So it will be sampled in the time instance. So where AK is the transmitted binary sequence and y of t is the received signal. So T1, T2 are the sampling instance and TB is the time period between the two sampling instance. Next one is the I pattern structure. So this sequence, the data baseband binary data transmission system will be contain the signal which will obtained at the output of y of t, and it is a continuous time signal. So ideally the signal will be high or low depending on the symbol that was transmitted. So the nature of the transmission channel and the signal will becomes continuous with increasing and decreasing amplitudes. So it will obtained at the output of the figure. So the based on the signal obtained over the period TB between the two sampling instance, the decision will be taken by the decision device. So here is the I pattern structure. For the large number of patterns, the ISI will be large number of input signals. So the name I is given because it looks like an I. So the pattern will be obtained by CRO. So here the pattern will be obtained when the large number of bits of the sequence are I patterns. Then it will be denoted as effects of ISI error in the output. So the side end will be denoted as errors in the output, and the center part will be the error free output. If the sampling will be occurs, then the instant lies will within the interval. So the time level will be the TB, and the I opening depends on the effect of ISI. So next one is performance of a data transmitted system. So here when the various important conclusions can be derived, it will shows the points related to the I pattern. So the first one is the width of the I opening will defines the interval over which the received wave can be sampled without the error from intersymbol interference. So it is preferable to sample the instant at which the I is open widest. So the second one is the sensitivity of the system to timing error is determined by rate of closure of I as the sampling time is varied. So the next one is the height of the I opening at the specified sampling time is called as a margin over the noises. So the intersymbol interference will increases, the I opening will be reduces. So if there are M levels, then the I pattern will contains M-1 I openings, and it will be stacked vertically one upon the other. So next one is equalizing filters. So in the baseband transmission system, the channel noise and intersymbol interference are together. So the optimum linear receiver can be used for such transmission system. So zero forcing equalizer. So it means the optimum linear receiver is really realized with the help of the zero forcing equalizer. So the equalizer will forces the ISI to 0. So here refer the block diagram, that is the baseband of the data transmission system is given. So when the signal of y of t at the output of the receiving filter is given as output binary data signal. So here we are using the input binary data B of k and clock pulses as given to the data encoding. Then it passes it to the transmitting filter. So here we are using the three filters. One is transmitting filter, channel and the receiving filter. So these three parts will be transmit the signal level, and it finally passes into the decision device, which will equalize the threshold level to 0 and given the output as the binary data output. So next one is the signal y of t at the output of receiving filter is given as y of t equal to integral minus infinity to infinity c of tau into x of t minus tau into d tau. So here x of t is the input signal and c of tau is the impulse response of the receiver filter. So the signal x of t at the input of the receiving filter is given as x of t equal to summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity ak q of t minus ktb plus wt. So ak will be the symbol transmitted at t equal to ktb and w of t will be the channel noise. So here y of t is sampled at ITB. So y of ITB is equal to Zi plus Ni. So the error between the transmitted and the received symbol will be Ei is equal to y of ITB minus Ai. So the mean square error is half E of Ei squared. So this mean square error is minimum for the following, that is integral minus infinity to infinity rq of t minus tau plus n naught by 2 into del of t minus tau. So c of tau into d tau is equal to q of minus t. Here rq of t comma tau is a temporal autocorrelation function of the sequence, that is q of ktb. So the above equations can be solved to get c of t. It will give the impulse response of zero forcing equalizer. So next one is necessity of equalization. So when the signal is passed through the channel, the distortion is introduced in terms of amplitude and delay. So this distortions will create the problem of ISI. So the detection of the signal also becomes difficult and it will compensate with the help of equalizers. So the equalizers will basically filter the channel distortion parts. The next one, equalizer for correction of distortion, which will be introduced in the channel. So here we have taken the transfer function of the distortionless system as h of f is equal to k e power minus j2 pi ft naught. So the cascaded function of channel plus equalizer will give the output as hc of f into hea of f is equal to k e power minus j2 pi ft naught. So the transfer function of the equalizer is h equivalent of f is equal to k e power minus j2 pi ft naught by hc of f. So the equation is difficult to realize that directly, but approximations are available. So it can be implemented with the help of the tap delay line filters. So in equalization technique there are two types. One is tap delay line filter method and another one is adaptive equalization method. So first one, tap delay line filter method. Here the weight are basically filter coefficients and the weights, this filter will approximate the equalizer transfer function of equation. So the approximation will be accurate if we use the more taps in the filter. So the weights are calculated once, the characteristics of the channel will become the fixed filter. So it has a more number of taps for better accuracy. So next one, the output of the filter will be y of nt is equal to summation I equal to 0 to m minus 1 the wi x of nt minus it. So here wi is the weight of the ith tap and m is the total number of taps and t is the symbol duration of the signal. So next one is adaptive equalization. So in adaptive equalization, the filters will adapt themselves to disperse the effects of channels. So here we have used the switched telephone network the distortion induced depends upon the transmission characteristics of the individual links and number of links in the connection. So the transmission characteristics of the channel will keep on changing. So that type of equalization is known as the adaptive equalization. So here this type of equalization will be used in the applications of telephone channels. So next one is structure of adaptive equalizer. So in adaptive equalization, the filters will adapt themselves to the dispersive effects. So the filter coefficients will be changed in a way to that of the distortion in the data is reduced. So there are so many types. When an equalization is done at the transmitting side, it is called pre-channel equalization. So this type of equalization will require feedback to know the amount of distortion in the received data. So when the equalization is done at the receiving side, it is called as post-channel equalization. So the equalizer is placed after the receiving filter in the receiver side. So here the adaptive equalizer will contains the set of delay elements and variable multipliers. So the sequence x of nt is applied to the input of the adaptive filter and the output y of nt of the adaptive filter. So that is adaptive equalization will contains adapt itself to the efficacy of the channel. So the weight value will be varied according to the nature of the signal received. That is LMS algorithm will be used for weight updation. Here the error value will be, it is calculated from output desired output, and the feedback loop will be know the amount of distortion is received sequence. So it is used in the applications of telephone channel. There will be noise and echo removing is occurred. So here y of nt is equal to summation I is equal to 0 to m minus 1 wi x of nt minus it. So here wi is the weight of the ith tap and m is the total number of taps, t is the symbol duration. So the error sequence will be e of nt is equal to d of nt minus y of nt here. So there is no distortion in the channel, means then d of nt and y of nt will be same and it will produce zero error. So next one is operating modes. So here the operating modes will contains two types. One is training mode and another one is decision directed mode. So training modes mean when the SW1 is in position 2, the training sequence is applied to the equalizer. So the training sequence is basically maximal length pseudo-noise sequence, that is PN. So it will generate the synchronized version of receiver and the training mode will set the coefficient of adaptive filters. The next one is decision directed mode. So in the decision directed mode, the equalizer will set the switch 1 in position 1 after completion of training mode. So an error signal is given as E of nt is equal to B of nt minus Y of nt. So here the B of nt is the corrected estimate transmitted symbol and Y of nt is the output of adaptive equalizer. So this will adjust continuously and will get the error signal as E of nt is minimized. The last one is LMS algorithm. So it means it is one of the algorithms to change the tap weights of the adaptive filter recursively. So the tap weights are adapted by this algorithm as follows. That is Wi of nt minus t is equal to Wi of nt divided by mu of E of nt into x of nt minus it. So here I will be the values of 0, 1, etc. up to m minus 1. Okay, Wi gap of nt is the tap I at time nt and Wi gap of nt divided by t will be the updated estimate of tap I at time nt. So mu is the adaptation constant and x of nt minus it is filter input. E of nt is the error signal. So when we are tapping the weights, it will be obtained in the recursive manner and the initial tap weights are assumed to be as 0 values. Thank you.